Yeah. So tell us what you went on many exciting adventures during the series. What give me the top pick for you from the work you did on this show?
Each location was meaningful and very intense in its own way. I mean, they really all are these major standalone things, but they fit together in this big narrative of discovery, right? But along the way, it's like we climb the cloud forest and make discoveries of the cloud warrior sarcophagi hidden on the sides of cliffs, and I'm crawling up there in this very beautiful environment, almost mythical like, and I'm standing face to face, like within a few feet of hair that looks like it had just fallen off someone's head from a barber shop, yesterday, but now is, I'm a few feet away from a mummy, and I'm pretty sure it was in that thing at one point. It's like, what? Like, this is why this is happening in real time, and then another moment where, we're down in the deserts of Sudan and we're camped out in this massive desert, and that night we find a bunch of scorpions. They're called death stalkers. I mean, they're one of the most poisonous scorpions in the world. It's like, what? Why are we here? Like death scorpions, everywhere. But the next day we pull out our radar systems and we're sitting underneath this massive mountain that in the heart of it has a temple to the god Amun, the like this really important god for the Egyptians. But we're way down in Sudan. What's it doing here? And in front of us, right where we're standing on what looks like barren sand, the radar reveals we're standing on these alleyways, and buildings, and roads to what was most likely the lost capital city of the ancient Kushites. These pyramid building warriors from the south that ran the whole of Egypt for 100 years, but their history was kind of lost, right? Or we're down in the jungles of Chiapas, and this is the one that really, oh my gosh, like this is the one that really blows my mind. But I was sometimes I feel like I'm living a Hollywood adventure film, but in real life, right? And this particular expedition made that more clear to me than ever. We were in the heart of a pyramid, a very iconic king's tomb, this guy Pakal. And the pyramid has been closed off for people to go into for decades. And as we descend down this long chamber into the heart of this pyramid, it's humid, it's hot, but you're stepping on ancient stairs that were placed there by the builders. And you go through this little room that has like a triangle door, and you get through this thing, and all of a sudden you're standing in a room that looks like it's a crystal palace, because all the limestone from the pyramid is leached into this one tomb chamber and created all these stalactites that glow against your flashlight. It's wow, And then on the tomb itself are all these glyphs that describe a mythical origin city, a watery land filled with cormorants, and there's these symbols of a mountain that was split with wind over moving through it. It's like I'm following glyphs on the inside of a pyramid built by this ancient king to look for a mythical origin city. Huh? You know what? But then we follow the source of this aqueduct that runs underneath that pyramid to this very spiritual river called the Tuliha River, and we make our way all the way up to the headwaters of that river, up to its source. And there's a group of archaeologists that have been studying these very early sites that they're starting to find right up by this lake system. These Mayanists, Joel Palca and others. And as we're exploring that area, the Mayan people that still live there, they say, hey, look, there's this mountain that we call Chacatun, which is this split mountain at the center of our lake, and we'll take you there. And we go up to this mountain, and this guy leans down over this little cave, and the mountain starts breathing. I mean, the wind through the lake had pushed through the heart of the mountain this air, and all of a sudden his hair is like, it's like, I just read about this on a glyph, in the heart of a pyramid, and now I'm seeing it. And as we descend into that cave, we start finding all this pottery, and we use the lasers to map the side of that mountain and realize the whole mountain is a pyramid. But this is real. This is happening in real time. It just happened. I lived it, and yet sometimes I can't figure out whether or not I'm living in a reality or in an episode of Indiana Jones. And then I realized that actually, no, this is real. This is real, then it's like everything gets blurred, because I grew up with movies like Indiana Jones as a kid. And now I feel, well, actually, I'm living in the moments that those movies were inspired by.
Yeah.
And I'm just, so grateful.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you ever feel like your life is actually in danger in some of these expeditions?
Yeah, well, almost died multiple times on this last season. Yeah, it was rough.
What was the scariest point for you?
We had many, like in Sudan, we were there right before the coup broke out. We got tear gassed and arrested and flash bombed. We got, we were in the headwaters of the Amazon, and a raft with all our camera crew flipped, and in this really particular part of the river where it was very rough, and we lost all our cameras, and two guys were held down for a long time. And I was right there waiting for them to pop up, and finally they popped up like popcorn. But I mean, they were at the end, and we were able to get them on the land, and that shut the whole shoot down. And I mean, it was sketchy. But probably the most intense was when I was up on the side of a cliff in Israel, and we're climbing up this escarpment to try to get to what we thought would be a lookout tower for the ancient Canaanites. And it just rained, so all the limestone was a little loose, and I should have known. But I'm on a huge boulder, and all of a sudden it starts to open like a door, and I realize that it's peeling back, and I jump out of the way just in time for it to crush my prosthetic foot into smithereens, because I have a prosthetic. So people think of it as a disadvantage. I think of it as an advantage, because over and over again,
You can't
it's
crush your foot.
yeah, you can't. Yeah, it's like So all of a sudden, I mean, I'm the only one I know that's lost the same leg twice. But I'm looking down at this thing. It's me, it's the boulder, and it's my foot on the other side of it. I couldn't believe that it happened. And a big boulder came loose, and it hits my cameraman right in the side and breaks two of his ribs. Yeah. It was really rough. But I tell you what, if this was just a regular TV show, we wouldn't be. I don't know if I'd feel comfortable doing this level of risk in search of just entertainment. These shows, they're incredibly entertaining. They're an incredible adventure, but they're also these meaningful quests.
Yeah.
To try to uncover parts of who we are. They're deeply personal, because each time you find something from wherever it is in the world, it reveals something deep inside, like some philosophy, some understanding, some wisdom. So yeah, it's worth it. Hopefully, we don't go beyond the edge, but yeah.
Albert, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us. We hope everyone gets a chance to see the show.
Thank you. And I hope you get to see it too. I mean, it's if you're done with your turkey and it's Thanksgiving night and you're like, okay, I want to get together with the family, this is an incredible family experience. And travel the world. The first episodes come out on Thanksgiving night at 9/8 Central, and then after that, a week later, every Thursday they'll keep on coming out, but they'll stream also all at once on Disney Plus and Hulu. So, for all the viewers that you might connect with, I hope these shows mean something to you as well, because I think the accumulation of a lifelong quest, and probably the piece of work that I'm the most proud of being a part of.
Yeah, really fascinating. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching the You Interview channel. With over 3,000 original celebrity videos, we have one of the largest collections of celebrity interviews anywhere. So remember to like and comment on our videos and subscribe to the channel. If you want to get more involved, you can become a member of the channel. Membership has its perks. You can see exclusive celebrity videos and get the opportunity to ask our celebrity guests questions. We can't wait to hear from you.